Welcome everybody back to another rebuild, and today we are going to be going to Birmingham City, lining the championship. This season they finished in the bottom half in real life, with the highest ever position, 6th in the top flight in the old first division, which is now the Premiership, in 1955-56. So it's been a long time since they've reached them heights, and the aim in this rebuild is to get them back to the top flight and to hopefully achieve a top 6 finish. This season they are predicted to finish 22nd. Like I said, they did finish in the bottom half, but 10 points clear of relegation in real life. So we're going to aim to beat that and hopefully go for promotion within 2 seasons. They enjoyed the best spell in the 1950s. They finished runners-up in the FA Cup in 1931 and 56, and finishing runners-up in the Europa League 1960 and 61, which I'm assuming was the old UEFA Cup or Cup Winners' Cup or something like that. Won the second tier in 21, 48 and 55, finishing runners-up on 4 occasions, and won the Carabao Cup. I think that was the last victory in 2011. This seems to be their favoured formation, with Hogan, Deeney, Bakuna, Chong. Thought that might have been Tahith Chong from Manchester United. Rather Longello, Bilic, Colin, Trusty, Long, Sanderson and Ruddy in goal. Few players on loan, including Hannibal. Wow, excellent stuff. We definitely can use him. More attacking though, I feel. Not sure where he'd fit in this formation, to be perfectly honest. And a couple of other players going out on loan as well. From the board, they wanted to sign players under the age of 23 for the first team, work within the budget. The current season, 1-year contracts for over 34s, 2-year contracts for players over the age of 32. Become established championship team, be competitive in the FA Cup and Carabao Cup. Do they want promotion at any point? No, they don't. Well, we're going to hopefully change that. The managing director, though, he wants us to play entertaining football, use the youth system, be competitive against Villa if we happen to play against them, and Wolves as well, but remain in the championship. Okay, so once again, before we look at the players, staff needs a lot of work then. They've hardly got any recruitment, and okay, they're just slightly above average in the medical staff as well. Money, £3.5 million. There was no budget for the first season using the players that we currently have got, and like I say, this preview, they want us to finish in 20th position, not 22nd. I may have read that wrong, but 33-1 to win the league. Sunderland, who just got promoted, way above them as well, so that's slightly worrying. But it doesn't look like we've got any players currently in the Dream 11. So looking at some of the players then that we have got, starting with the obviously better ones. A lot of players on loan here. So we've got Sunjic, he's out on loan, 25-year-old Croatian. Wow, why is he out on loan? Can we get him back? No, we can't recall him. Wow, why? I don't know. They got Bilic as well. I'm not sure how long he's out for. 3 weeks. Pretty decent. A DM. Kadra as well. German, 20-year-old. If they could hold on to him, that'd be quite good. A winger. So the formation that they have is with wing-backs but no wingers. Colin as well, 30-year-old. Try and hang on to some of these players. I mean, they have got a couple of older ones, but they have got some young ones as well, like Hannibal, 19 years old. Left wing, Camro, preferably on the left. Okay. And Tahith Chong as well on the right hand side, but he can play Cam as well. Midfield. Yeah, we've got 2 United players that can play out on the wings. We'll definitely look at some wing movement here. Bakuna, 24-year-old. Again, looks very decent. What's he like? He has scored a few goals, but not many. Jordan James, 17 years old. Great potential. Again, midfield. I mean, somebody that we could possibly... I mean, is he too young to just step straight in there? We have got some better players in that role, though, to be fair. Longello as well, or Longillo. Again, pretty decent. Left back. I think we could use him. We've got George Hall as well, another 17-year-old. Wow, they have got some youth in here. Do we stick the youth in here and go for it? I think it could be a bit of a risk. I mean, a fairly decent side to begin with. There is a fair few players over the age of 30. So I think first things first is to look through and have a look what sort of formation suits. and we'll take it from there. Right then, so after a few bitting and bobbing to try and find out formation wise, and we've decided to come up with this. Well, I say we've decided, I've decided. We're going to have a DM in there with 4 across the midfield, 1 up front. I feel like this is the best way to go, despite the fact that we have got wingers. The wingers just wasn't working for some bizarre reason. The team just isn't that way inclined as attacking wise. So whether or not the formation or the tactics is slightly off, I don't know. We have got some fantastic players in. Like I say, we've got Chong in there, we've got Kadra, we've got Hall. Some very, very good youngsters. But I just cannot fit them into the team as yet because we've got these low knees in. And I feel like if we have to get promoted, we want the best chance possible. But the midfield, I'm going to go with Bakuna, Bielik and James. James being the young one, the young 18-year-old, I think he was. Fantastic potential. He can play midfield, but also in the DM role, which I am going to try and keep him there. He's got a very good teamwork vision as well. Work rate's pretty high. He can pass the ball as well, so I'm hoping from deep he can knock the ball over the top. That's where I'm hoping. It was between him or Bielik in that position. We have got other players who are out on loan, which we obviously can't use, but we're going to have 1 up front. I'm not happy about the striker situation, so we'll just have to go with it and see what happens. Although Troy Deeney has scored 7 goals for us already this season. So with that in mind, this is our story so far. So we had that 1 loss in the friendlies, a 2-0 loss to Rapid Vienna. Then we went on a run of form when we changed the formation to a 4-1-4-1. Did have wingers at this point, wasn't working. We just adjusted it ever so slightly each game, and the goals aren't flying in, let's be honest. But it is a tough league to get out of. Once out of there, I think we'll be a lot happier and we can go for a specific formation. But for now, we just need to concentrate on developing the side that we've got, getting players used to these positions, and let's see if we can get promoted the first time of asking. We have been knocked out of the Carabao Cup, the second round to Coventry on penalties. We did get past the first round on penalties, but we do lose the second round. We have lost to Norwich. It would been our only loss in the league, but we've beaten Huddersfield, Cardiff, Watford, Wigan, and Rotherham, which I'm really impressed with. We are lying second in the table, 6 wins from 7, which is highly commendable. Did lose to Norwich at top of the table, but Norwich did lose to Cardiff. But I think we beat Cardiff. Yeah, we beat them 2-1. Who knows what's going to happen this season? So let's have a look at the prediction now. We were 22, then 20. Now, where are we predicted now after this fine start? Well, 16th. Okay, 25-1. The odds have shifted a fair bit as well. There's a lot of Norwich players in there. So without any further ado, let's get our first season underway. We'll come back and fingers crossed we can be up there or roundabouts in the first time of asking. Definitely not as high as I wanted to finish. 15th position, that's okay. I think that's not far off where they finished in real life as well. 55 points. We lost 19 games and only scored 43 goals. Our last 5-game finish as well. 2 draws and 3 losses. That's not going to help matters either. Norwich and Blackburn go up together with Sheffield United, who win in the playoffs. Be interesting to see who goes down from the Premiership, because that's who we'll be playing next season. It's going to be Bournemouth, Palace and Leeds. However, Deeney does finish with 25 goals for the season. Burnley's Foster and Norwich's Pukki, who finished joint top. This is quickly turning into a how many seasons is it going to take to get out of the Championship, I feel. Not how long can we last in the Premiership. This is it's going to be a very, very difficult one, that's for sure. With the players that we had, I expected a little bit better though, to be fair. We did have a great start at the beginning, carried that on into September with just the 1 loss to West Brom, with 5-1 win over Swansea as well. And then it was a poor October, just 3 draws, 4 losses, a 4-0 loss to Sheffield United actually. Then we have a fairly 1 loss in over 2 months, November, December. That loss coming to Burnley, 4-0. And then it just goes a little bit wrong. The next following months, January, February, more losses than anything else. Cardiff beat us 4-0 at home, which isn't clever. And I think we only managed 2 wins in the whole of the second half. Well, the turn of the year in the league. That's awful. It's no surprise we finished where we did. The FA Cup, we did get as far as the 4th round. We played Leeds and we lost that 4-0. We beat QPR after a replay in the third one, beating them on penalties. But a resounding 4-0 loss, though, to Leeds. And the Carabao Cup, as you saw, we bowed out to Coventry very early on. A quick look at our squad then. So Deeney with 26 goals, and there the problem lies. Having 4 in midfield, 1 DM and 4 at the back clearly didn't keep the goals out, but I expected a lot more, especially from some of these big players. Bilic only 1 goal and 2 assists. I don't think we'll be re-signing him. It's poor, unless we just played him out of position. I just don't know. Cadra did quite well, 4 and 7. Hannibal did play. He did play 33 games, 1 and 1. And Sanderson, 1 assist in 35. That's not great. How did Chong do? He did play 50 games, 5 assists, 1 goal in midfield. We will have to rethink this formation, though. We need to get the best out of our players. Kevin Long, Colin. We'll probably let them go. The big money players really are all those that are on loan, so we'll probably end up losing them. So I doubt very much we'll be able to afford to keep them on. Although Trusty, I wouldn't mind hanging on to him though, if he's only worth about £1 million, depending how much we do get. Of which, wow, okay, this could be a very interesting rebuild after all. And we're well overspending on wages as well. It's not going to be a great one, that's for sure. If we can hang on to our players at the same wages, maybe. I don't think that's going to happen somehow. I feel this is going to be very, very difficult. So options for transfers, we only had to get freebies. There was no money in the budget. We had to release some because we're overspending on wages budget as well. The finances are a little bit of a mess, so we've had to try and sort it out. So we have just done that. Billy Comitio comes to the club on a free. What a player he looks. A centre-back, pretty solid, 6'5". Although his jumper reach isn't that great, and heading's not brilliant. I expect it to be a little bit better than that. But even so, the rest of his stats don't look that bad either. Physicals look okay. He's got very good strength as well. Previously at Luton on loan, looks like Liverpool released him. He had a good season with Luton, 19 games. Enrique Pereira is another player that we bring in, a left winger, free. Potential ability looks really good. Quick off the bat, great determination and dribbling as well, so he's going to be superb on that left hand side. Very good season with Benfica B team, but again they released him, so I don't get it. 10 assists for him last season. I'm not sure how to pronounce this name. Fankati Dabo, right sided wing back. Again, very quick. Natural fitness is pretty good as well. His stats look okay actually, to be perfectly honest, and at 27 years old, probably the older of the bunch. But we have got a young side that we're trying to settle in now. And I think he's probably one of the oldest players in the team currently. We pick up an Italian for free as well, Shane Under. Potential ability, I'm sure that was a lot less than that, but it's risen quite substantially. And I think he's gone up a full star as well. Last season and the season before, he's not had 2 bad seasons. He's scored 4 goals for us already. Again, another player from Portugal, Benfica B team. 11 assists. I just don't understand why they would want to get rid of these players. We did struggle on the goalkeeper front. We had to bring somebody else in. 28-year-old Joe Lumley. Granted, he's not young, but there weren't any young free players out there. And at 28, he's probably coming up to his best in about a year or so's time anyway. Still got some potential in him. Great aerial reach, communication and kicking, and he can jump as well. Reflex is superb, and 1-1s isn't too bad either. They did concede 53 goals and 44 at Reading last season. He's already conceded 9 in 4 this season. A goalkeeper's going to be top of the list for next season, that's for sure. Gabriel Gori, striker. We needed to get another striker. Deeney was getting a little bit old, although he did well last season. I can't complain. Potential isn't so great at 136. But again, I think for this division, he'll do the job superbly. They've just got no money. Again, a freebie. 6'2", up the top. Great teamwork, good balance. His physical's not too bad and finishing's okay as well. He did score 4 goals for Regina last season in Italy. He's been out on loan or across Serie A and B. But he has scored goals, and he scored 4 in 4 for us this season with an assist. And then a couple of players for the youth team as well, either side, Files and Chucheni as well. Out the door, however, we do say goodbye to Hogan. He's gone to Shelbourne. He's gone back to Ireland, £50,000. Etheridge, the goalkeeper, £7,000 to Forest Green. Gardner goes to Oxford for £25,000. Colin, Girona for 1.3. I mean, I was quite amazed at how much they offered. We bit their hands off, literally. And Dean has gone to Derby for £400,000. Along the way, we did release other players as well. So we are trimming our side down. And as you can see, it is pretty trim now. The formation, we are going to be playing the 4-2-4. It is a formation that I use for the Brighton save. Apart from we've got an inverted winger this side and inside forward, that side attacking and support. So, but we find Bellingham. I didn't realise we had a Bellingham in the side. Job Bellingham, yes, Jude's brother. Youth team. I couldn't believe it. I mean, wow. Okay. Potential looks pretty good as well. I mean, I can't complain. Worth £20 million. Brought him into the first team. We're going to need to get him a new contract as well. He's only on £2,000 a week. If he does well, we might end up selling for about 20 to 30 million pounds, if not more. And so far, it's done okay. We've had to get used to the formation. We went to Portugal. Funnily enough, Firenze we beat 5-1. We do lose to Sporting 4-0, and then we beat 2-1 Amadora as well. Bristol Rovers, we played in the friendly and thrashed them. We start the league campaign against Blackpool. We win that 3-1. Then we beat Stoke 4-1, but we do lose to the Premiership relegation teams, to Bournemouth and Crystal Palace. But in between time, we did beat Carlisle in the first round of the Carabao Cup and Derby 1-0 in the second round, without conceding a goal as well. And we've drawn Arsenal in the third round, so a big money spinner at home. And the odds have seen us climbing to 9th position, 25-1. I think we were down here somewhere, weren't we? About 33. Now we're 25-1 and getting closer to that top. So Palace and Bournemouth, who we lost to already, they're predicted to go straight back up, together with Leeds, but we're hoping to upset that apple cart, although we have got to get past Watford, Middlesbrough, West Brom, Burnley. It's going to be tough. But we've already beaten Stoke above us. So let's simulate our second season, and fingers crossed we can do a little bit better than last and finish somewhere up here, which will be a massive improvement. Well, one thing for sure, we did finish a little bit higher than last season. I expected to be somewhere around about the playoffs, really, to be perfectly honest, after the start that we did have. However, we scored 95 goals, but still end up with just a goal difference of 78. I mean, we scored the second most in the league, which is brilliant. I'm not going to complain about that, but we conceded 78. How on earth did that even happen? I think we conceded the second most in the league, looking at that, behind Coventry, who conceded 88. Just out of curiosity, I have to have a look against... Wow, we did concede the second most in the league. But Gorey gets 40 goals this season for us. Amazing stuff. Our new signing, and Chong gets 14 assists as well, which is absolutely superb. Really, really happy with that as well. So our league form, like I said, we started off pretty well, just the 2 losses in the first 3 months, and then we hit a real bad patch. I'm not sure really what happened in the next couple of months. A lot of games close together, injuries possibly. Then we sort ourselves out at the turn of the year, just the 2-3 losses. 4-0 against Bournemouth, 3-0 against Stoke, and 3-1 against Leeds. The FA Cup, we did get as far as the quarterfinals, in fact. I was going to say semi-finals, but it is the quarterfinals where we get absolutely mauled by Man City 6-1. But we did beat Bournemouth along the way in third, Charlton after a replay, and then Millwall in the fifth. The Carabao Cup, we get as far as the third round, losing to Arsenal, again being mauled by a Premiership side. Probably something we'll look forward to if we ever get promoted at this rate. So squad-wise, Gorey, 46 from 54. Absolutely superb. Chong, 17 goals, 16 assists. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. 14 from Pereira as well, out on the wing. 11 from Nader. I mean, our front attacking line is superb. I haven't got a problem with them at all. It's just amazing, although Pereira seems to have dropped off a little bit, but even so, there's a lot of goals there. Not much throughout the rest of the team, though. Job Bellingham weighs in with 5 and 9 assists. I mean, the 18-year-old, brilliant again. What about James as well, the 19-year-old? 30 games, 2 and 3. That's not bad either. Assist-wise, Chong and Longelo. that left and right, left side? Did Chung play on the left hand side then, I wonder? 12 assists for the wing back though. Brilliant. I mean, our midfielders have done the job as well. I do think we just need to sort our back line out. Going into the next season, well, it doesn't get any better though. £134,000. Okay, looks like we're going to have to go the route of freebies once again. Wages budget, near enough the same. It has gone up a little bit though. I think it's gone up about 20 grand a week. We need to sort a goalkeeper out and our back line. Stop conceding goals. That's what we need to do. So we start off the summer transfer with a freebie. Harrison Marcelin, a centre-back, French. He's going to partner our other French centre-back as well. And wow, some of his stats look pretty good. Physicals look really nice too. For 6'6", he can jump, and heading as well is not too bad either. We bring in another centre-back, Nicholas Apoku, another free agent. Physicals not as good as Marcelin, however, he's still got some very high potential and looks very, very nicely rounded as well. He was with Armeens last season, but we do pick him up on a free. They didn't renew his contract, bizarrely enough. We pick up a left back, Josh Wilson-Esperan from Manchester City. I think it's something like £700 a week. Very, very cheap. There it is, £700 a week. And I think we're paying... No, I think that's all we're paying, actually. Just his basic wage. 10%, I think it was. 21-year-old. He's just going to help us on the left-hand side for this season. Whether or not we can extend that into next season, we shall find out. But I think this is the way to go. There's not many free players out there that we could get hold of that were any decent. So we decided to go down the loan route. And we do spend some money, £120,000 on Dragowski, the Polish goalkeeper, the only decent one that was out there. But 120,000 from Spezia, I think that is an absolute bargain. And I did say we needed somebody decent at the back, especially in goal. 27 years old, 6'3", not been conceding many goals. Spezia, 25 in his first season in 37, but he did concede 31 in 26 the following season. He's conceded 6 in 4 for us this season, but I think with reflexes looks pretty good. Jumping reach, aerial reach, everything looks really nice as well. Determination too. So overall, £225,000 spent. There was another player that we did spend money on. I think that was a youth team. But you may notice Jordan James, we've got him on loan. That's because he went to Real Hispalis. 2.5 million, rising up to 13 with all add-ons. He's going to do pretty well out there, and to be fair, we've got him for another season, so we didn't have to get anybody else in, but we will have to look for a replacement next season in midfield, just so we got enough players in there. Tatum's gone to Bournemouth for up to 900,000. A few players going out on a free and loan, and we did release quite a few players as well. Ruddy goes, Andrews, Oakley, Fogarty, Files, Williams and Mark Roberts. I think he was the defender, some of the older players. So pre-season hasn't gone too bad. It's quite impressive. We've won all our games, which I was really impressed. And then we lost our first game to Wolves, who obviously must have come down from the Premiership. We lost 2-1 at home, disappointing despite taking the lead as well. Sunderland, we win on penalties in the Carabao Cup first round, but we do bow out in the second round to Everton 2-0. We do beat Peterborough, Swansea and Hull, put us into third position currently. Again, whether or not we'll stay there remains to be seen, but I would like to think that we will do. We are building a pretty strong side now. And we're in ninth, 20-1 now. The odds have been slashed even more to win the league. But ninth position, we've still got some big teams ahead of us. Wolves and Brighton we got to play, and Blackburn were in the Premiership. Well, they must have gone up last season and come straight back down again, I'm not so sure. But promoted QPR, Ipswich and Rotherham. But it's good to see that we're in the top half. Hopefully we can build on our 11th position last season, hopefully get in a playoff. But we are aiming to at least reach the Premiership at some point in this rebuild. We've got this season and 2 more to get them there. Well, I wanted the playoffs. We got the playoffs. We're in the Premiership, folks. We managed to stave off all the games, the additional few games as well, on top of the 46 league games. Amazingly, we have made it through the process. I expected to be in the playoffs that's one way or another, but to go through right to the end and win it, it's just amazing. We go up with Wolves, win it with Brighton. 85 goals scored this time as well. Again, is that the second highest in the league? I think it is. behind Wolves, the eventual winners. Gorey, though, finishes top goal scorer again, one shy of last season. 39 goals this time in the league. Fantastic. And Pereira, Chong and Endor all in the assists as well. And Gorey gets 8 man of the match awards as well. Form in the league then. Let's start from the top. Wow. Just them 2 defeats, 3 defeats in the first 3 months, which is pretty good, which is a promotion form, to be fair. We did beat the likes of Sunderland in there, Hull, Swansea, Coventry, Ipswich, Luton. We did lose to QPR though. They were newly promoted. I think they were. Millwall as well, disappointingly. We did lose to Wolves first game of the season though. We hit a little bit of a bad patch in November, losing to Bournemouth, Middlesbrough, Brighton and West Brom. It was a draw with Middlesbrough actually, 1-1. Then we find ourselves a bit of form in December, including a 4-1 victory over Bolton and a 3-2 over Watford. We take a few more hits in the coming months, but we maintain wins. Oh, well, look at that. Wolves smashed us 6-0 and we were on television as well. That's disappointing. But we do stand firm and get the job done. We did play Bournemouth in the playoff semi-finals, winning that 4-2 after a 2-0 away leg win as well. And then we beat Middlesbrough in this final. Endor getting the goal after 1 minute, or under 1 minute probably. And Gorey, 54th minute, sealing the deal with a 94th minute goal from Anderson. Only just a consolation though. FA Cup, we don't get past Swansea. We lose 1-0 after 39th minute penalty. Carabao Cup, we get 1 round better. And I think we saw that earlier on before we closed off. We're losing to Everton. So 40 goals for Gorey in the end from 47, which is pretty decent. Chong, 11 goals. Not as many goals from everywhere else. So 8 from Endor. Pereira with 7. Bakuna gets some game time with 5 goals. Although, to be fair, just over half the players did get a goal one way or another. And I think everybody got some game time apart from our goalkeeper, Zach Gcock, who was our 3rd choice. I'm thinking Dragowski, how did he do? 64 and 51? I mean, that's not bad. 3 players get to double figures in assists. Pereira with 17, 11 for Endor and 11 for Chong as well. So the question to be asked then is, how much money are they going to be giving us? Now we're going into the Premiership. Wow. Okay. From struggling all this time, we've been given £36 million, and the wage budget has been increased to by 130,000 as well. It's not a lot wages wise, but we should be able to pick up 1 or 2 decent players with that amount of money, or a few maybe. So we've spent some money, and the first one is Zach Orr, £2 million from Arsenal, a centre back, 21 years old, 6'5", and a bright future ahead of him as well. He's got great potential, great physicals, etc. He's got a good first touch on him actually as well, but pace and acceleration is going to really help at the back. We ended up signing Josh Wilson-Brand for £2.5 million. Yes, only £2.5 million. I was really surprised how much Man City let him go for. So we decided to pick him up, and he played an absolute stormer of a season last season. I think he was instrumental in helping us get promotion, and we definitely decided to pick him up. And physicals, aggression as well. Most of his stats look really, really nice. Under £5 million from Brighton, Billy Gilmore comes to the club. Midfielder. We lost a midfielder, so we had to bring one in. And I think he's, again, another great addition. Another solid, experienced player at the age of 24 years old. We do spend £9.5 million for Ethan Laird, though, from Blackburn on the right hand side, sorry, not the left. Another great centre back, a lot of very good physical attributes there, and he's got a good first touch. He can cross the ball and dribble. Again, another fine addition to the side, a player that comes with some experience playing in the Premiership. And finally, Ken Abo. We wanted another backup to the Gorey up front. I realised we didn't have any really apart from a couple of youngsters. £10 million going up to 14 for the youngster. Fantastic potential. He's already got great finishing as well. Physicals look really good. He's got acceleration and pace, which is phenomenal. 13 goals for Derby last season in League One on loan. I think he helped them get promoted. I'm not quite sure. I think Derby are in the Championship now, I think. Yes, they are. So they obviously picked him up. So really happy to bring him on board as well. So overall, £28.5 million spent, 18.75 brought in. And that's due to the fact that we lost Dabo to Derby for 2.4 million. And Sunjic has gone to Brighton for 15.75. We get Billy Gilmore and they take Sunjic. It doesn't mean that we got all of that money because our transfer revenue is 15%. So we didn't get hardly anything. And most of our budget went onto the wages budget because, as you can see, it's about £540,000 a week. We're going to remain with the 4-2-3-1. We're just going to see how it goes. We're going to surprise a few people. We're going to start off with Laird, Brandon, Endor, Angori and Dragovski on the pitch straight off the bat. Friendlies went without a hitch. We even won our first game in the Premiership against Fulham. We won that 4-3. Then we got stuffed by Arsenal 5-0 and then by Norwich 2-1. But we did beat Stoke in the Carabao Cup second round. So we're into the third round against Shrewsbury next. And we've just recently beat Wolves 4-3. We are currently lying 10th in the table. So I'd be happy with that. As long as we're away from relegation. And just for those that are interested, of course we're expected to go straight back down. So hopefully that isn't the case. But Wolves mid-table, Brighton above us as well who come through. But there's a lot of teams there in Europe. Not stand on ceremony anymore. Let's go and simulate our fourth season. And hopefully we'll do enough to stay up. Well, you may not see it. I have got a very big grin on my face. We survive our first season in the Premiership. Be it 4 points from relegation, I don't care. It doesn't matter. That win and 2 draws right at the very end, that's probably helped seal our destiny in the next season here in the Premiership. But 11 wins though, it's not too bad. 40 points. It's, to be honest, I'm just over the moon. Arsenal do win it away from Newcastle in second spot. Wow, I didn't see that one coming. Man City in 4th, Man United in 5th, Villa are up there as well, and Leeds. Wow. Tottenham and, there's Tottenham in 9th. I mean, there's a few surprise teams in there, though, to be fair, but majority of the big ones up near the top. Chelsea in 7th place as well, didn't mention them. But yeah, a very good season just to survive in. Gorey, though, still managed to get in the leading goal scorers. 3rd place with 24 goals. Only 6 off Haaland. And 3 off Isaac as well. I mean, that's phenomenal stuff from our forward, though. Let's see how we got on form-wise. I mean, there was a few wins, few losses. We lost 5-0 to City, but we beat Brighton 4-0 and Palace 2-0. So I'm really chuffed with that. And we beat Chelsea 2-1 earlier on as well. Couple of losses, more losses than not really, to be fair. Everton we lose, Man United we lose. We do draw with West Ham and Liverpool. Only just lose to Man City at home. We lose to Arsenal. Liverpool we beat 3-0 at Anfield. Wow. Wow, that was definitely the result of the season, though, I'm thinking. We lose Man United 4-1 there. Tottenham, Fulham, Leeds. Any 5-0 win over Sheffield United and that win against Southampton as well. We do draw with Chelsea towards the end of the season. We lose to Newcastle Wolves, but I did expect to beat Norwich at some point. I really did. But to be fair, to do what we've done this season, but that shock against Liverpool has to be shock of the season though, really. The FA Cup, we get taken to a replay from Watford and we lose out 1-0 at home on the hour after beating Bournemouth 2-1 in the 3rd round. Carabao, though, we do get to the 4th round after beating Stoke and Shrewsbury, and then we get pummeled by Liverpool 6-0. Yeah, that 3-0 away win in the league must have been some sort of fluke. We must have played their 4th team maybe or something. Moving on to our squad, though, tis only Gorey that with the goals, though. 25 goals this season. I can't complain too much. Nador, though, 9-9. That's not bad, though. He's worth £81 million now. Wow. And he's only 21. We could struggle to hang on to him this season. But if someone stumps up that amount of cash, that would help the club an awful lot. Pereira, 8-7, which isn't too bad. Chong, Billy Gilmore in his first season, 4-5. brilliant. Abo as well, 3 goals in 19 substitute appearances. And our goalkeeper Drogovski, 79 conceded. It's a little bit disappointing, I'm not going to lie. Apoko, did he play any games? 8 and 18 off the bench. Marcelini did play 8 and... Oh, so who played in the central of defence then? Kumetio, 38, 1-on-1. That's not too bad. He did score. Jude Bellingham, how did he do? 2 assists in 24 and 17 off the bench. I mean, he's still got very high potential, Job Bellingham. I might have said Jude though, I do apologise. But let's just have a look, see what his progress is like. Well, it's probably understandable in the Premiership though, but if we have a look at, I think we can do it over probably here. I mean, it has gone up a little bit. I mean, some of his stats have moved up quite a bit, so that's only just going to improve as well. So we'll just keep an eye on him. Zakor did pretty well. The defender wanted 42, 1 goal maybe. I just expected a little bit more though, but again, a lot of players getting some game time, which is nice to see. We've been given another £39 million to spend, and we have got some money in the bank as well, and we're at the transfer revenue at 15%, so we need to ask them if they can increase the percentage transfer budget, because I don't want to sell anybody if that's only going to remain that. We want it around about 60-70%, so maybe they might give us that. And our transfer revenue has increased, but they've just doubled it to 30%. It's better than 15, but we'll try again in a month's time, see if they'll do another deal for us. But yeah, 30% doesn't seem an awful lot, but it is better than what it was. Just a few transfers this season, but we're bringing Brennan Johnson from Nottingham Forest for up to £15 million, including add-ons. Player to challenge Chong on that right hand side, and plus he can also play up front as well. His natural fitness and acceleration is second to none, but even so, another good addition, and who's had plenty of experience as well. From Blackburn for up to £11 million, Tyrese Dolan. Left-sided winger, right-sided winger as well. Again, another player to help out Pereira on that left-hand side as well. In fact, he's probably better than Pereira, to be fair. And at 24 years old, he's got a couple of years left in him as well. Great potential also. And just look at them physicals. Fitness, agility and acceleration is fantastic. He's got a great dribbling also, which I think is probably better than Pereira as well. Finally, from Liverpool, just over £11 million, we bring in Kevin Lamarco, centre-back. Again, yes, we've got some good centre-backs, but we just need to keep building and bringing in more better and experienced players. 24 years old though. Attributes look pretty nice too. I think he's our most expensive paid player at £50,000 a week. So overall, £33 million spent. We do lose £12.5 million worth of talent though. We do sell Mitchell Roberts to Millwall for £200,000. Apoko goes to Auxerre for £3.5 million. And then Chris Olger to Brighton for up to £12 million. He was in our youth team. Didn't know anything about him at all. I mean, he's got good potential on him. Would you pay up to £12 million for him? I don't know. I don't know if I would, to be honest. He's not a wonder kid or anything. Hopefully we don't come to rue that decision, but he wasn't going to get any game time in this rebuild anyway, so seems to make sense. We have got £46 million in the bank. There's still a bit of transfer budget left, but we didn't manage to spend that. A lot of it went on the wages because players we brought in were on higher wages, and plus we had to renew some contracts as well, which demanded more wages. So a lot of our budget went on wages, but we still managed to keep in with it all. So if we have a look at the story so far, friendlies didn't go all to plan. We went to Holland. We did lose to AZ. But we did pick ourselves up, getting used to the players that we have got. We played Leeds and West Ham first off in the Premiership. We lost both of them games. We did beat Wolves 2-0 though, which was a good result. We lost to Fulham, so them 3 games we lost to, Leeds, West Ham and Fulham, I would have expected to win. We did beat Cardiff on penalties in the Carabao Cup. Never seemed to do well in the Carabao Cup. We always seem to struggle through penalties, but we didn't concede a goal, which was quite nice. And then the big result really is Manchester United 4-3. We were 3-0 down in this game, and Dolan gets a goal on the 67th, and Gorey comes in from the 82nd minute, 91st and 95th. to steal us the victory. That is fantastic, and I cannot praise the lads enough for that, because otherwise we'd be in a little bit of trouble. But that's a A win against Liverpool last season, shockingly, and now this one as well, which is brilliant. We have drawn Tranmere in the next round of the Carabao Cup, and we are currently lying in 12th position. We're still rooted and expected to go down. I don't think they fancy our chances. Hopefully we'll get to prove them wrong once again. If we do that, brilliant. Just keep on doing it. I think it's just Birmingham will be one of them teams until they start getting star players in and the money keeps rolling in, that will always be down near the relegation zone. So let's simulate our final season and let's see where we finish. We defied the odds once again. 14th position this time, 2 positions up from last season, and we've gained a few more points than last season as well. 50 points total in this year, which isn't too bad. 14 wins, which is brilliant. 16 losses, even better. Some draws, and our goal difference has come down a little bit as well, but we do score 56, conceding 66. Man City win the league this time. 3 points off Liverpool. Manchester United in 3rd. Wolves in 4th position. Wow. Newcastle, Tottenham, Chelsea. Arsenal down in 11th position. I mean, we were only 2 points off Arsenal in the end. We struggled to get anybody leading goal scorer though for our club. That's worrying. So have a look at the form guide then. So we did lose 3 and win 2 in the first section. And then we try and keep up with a few wins now and again. October wasn't too bad, a loss to Man City, but we do beat Tottenham away from home though. Sunderland, we draw, lose to Leicester. We beat Chelsea 1-0. Win against Everton and Villa, which is nice. We do draw with Arsenal as well, which is good as well. We lose 5-2 to Man City though, wow. 4-1 to West Ham as well, but we beat Everton 3-2. And we beat Arsenal at home 1-0. So we drew with them up here, I think, away from him, and we beat them 1-0. That is fantastic. I bet their manager's been sacked though, I'm guessing. Newcastle will lose, Liverpool will lose. We do finish strongly though. We a win against Tottenham 3-1, lose to Chelsea but beat Sunderland, Fulham and Norwich towards the end, and a 3-3 draw right at the very end against Manchester United. The FA Cup, well, enough said about that. The better, I think it was just survival. A cup run would have been nice, but losing 4-2 away at Crystal Palace. Carabao, much the same. We go out without scoring. Tranmere beat us 1-0 after half an hour, and at home. That's awful. I don't expect that to happen. One last look at the squad then. I mean, Ender, wow, he's almost a 5-star player as well. That's just wow. That's brilliant. That really is. 71 goals conceded by Dragowski. Probably another goalkeeper incoming's probably needed. Goals, and here lies the problem. I wonder if we lost anybody in the January window. I'm reckoning. I will have a look in just a second. But Agori, 15 goals, 12 for Endure as well. I mean, nobody scored goals this season. That's a problem. Assist-wise, 10 for Dolan, which isn't too bad in his first season, along with 6 goals, 9 for Gilmour. Chong gets 5 with 9 goals. Again, half the team weighing in. A lot of players getting some game time, though, which is nice to see. Transfers, I think there was only one from the youth team, Dale, going to Forest for £1 million, so there's no impact there. Just very bizarre that hardly anybody contributed at all. 2 players hitting double figures in goals. Really bizarre. I think we have to go to a more defensive formation, I think, if it was going forward. Finances, £86 million in the bank. We've been given a monstrous £61 million in the transfer window. That's just insane. And 45% of the transfer revenue as well, which is really good. Joe Bellingham, has he improved much? We did say we're going to keep an eye on him. And James Jordan, or Jordan James. They have gone up a fair bit though. So he is improving. He's looking pretty decent now, though, to be fair. Let's have a look at, if we go to the transfers, it'll be easier to look that way. He's still there. Not sure how well he is, but looks okay history-wise. He did play 22 games in his first season and then 15 in the next. He should have stayed with us. Let's see if we cleared any debts off. There's still £38 million, £7 million transfer debt, but there is no net debt at all, so that's pretty good. they can pay it off if they really want to. So that's where we're going to leave it. Smash that like button if you did enjoy that. Subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't done so already. It is free to do so, so please do so. Let me know down in the comments if you want anybody else rebuilding, and we'll give it a go. But as far as Birmingham is concerned, we did as much as we could, I feel. I just think without them star players and getting into the Premiership early to get the money early, it was a little bit of a struggle. 2 seasons in the Premiership, we defied the odds from finishing bottom to finishing almost mid-table, which took some teams by surprise. So I was really, really happy with that. So until the next rebuild, thank you very much for watching. Thank you.